What's up, everybody?
Alright.
It's your boy Big Poppy JT. I'm back to you guys with another video. Before I begin, make sure to like the video and subscribe. I upload NFL videos and college football videos daily. And I'm here with Blue Skittles. Make sure to go check out his channel. Also, he uploads NFL videos and college football videos, and he uploads very, very good content. And today, me and him are going to be talking about how to fix the Jacksonville Jaguars. So make sure to go check out his channel. Link down in the description and the comment section down below. And I'm gonna give the floor to Blue Skittles. So, Blue Skittles, how do we fix the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Well, I think Blake Bortles is a really big part of how the Jaguars aren't very good. They're really inconsistent. Like last year, he had 21 touchdowns and 13 picks, which isn't that bad, but the pick number's really up, and his rating was only 85. They need to get a better quarterback, and Cody Kessler's definitely not their guy. So I think they probably need to go after someone in free agency, like maybe Derek Carr or someone else. And Leonard Fournette is really low yards per carry. Like, let me see. It's like about 4, and that's not very good. So I think Doug Marrone is like actually a pretty good head coach. And he went 10-6 last year and 5-11 this year. That's a pretty big difference. But I mean, Leonard Fournette carries them every game. Well, actually, not really. He only has 5 touchdowns. But his yards per carry is definitely down, and I think they really need to get like a better offense. Their defense is definitely like really good, but they don't really have that good of an offense. And I doubt they're going to hire a new head coach because their head coach is like, he got them all the way to the AFC Championship where they should have won that game and went to the Super Bowl. But of course, they did roll Miles Jack down. So,
I
nothing wrong with
agree.
that defense. Nothing wrong with that defense. They only allowed like 203 something hundred points this year. Nicknamed Jacksonville's holding up pretty well so far through the season. I think their season's starting to go downhill. Like when they took that loss to the Chiefs by like 30 to like 14.
Yeah,
And
after they beat the New England Patriots, which was basically their Super Bowl.
yeah,
I
like
think,
completely wrecked the Patriots, and they decided to go on like a huge losing streak. Like they were like 3-0 at one point, and then they went all the way from 3-0 to 3-6, and they like beat the Colts like somehow like 6-0 in like the what's it called, the Colts game. Yeah. Anyways, Leonard Fournette didn't really have that good of a game, so they definitely need to employ him more. He only had 14 carries like a game, and they definitely need to. Blake Bortles is terrible. They will go after a new quarterback. Make sure that Leonard Fournette's getting a lot of yards per carry. There's basically no wrong. This defense can do no wrong now, in my opinion. In the
yeah,
draft, probably.
in my opinion, I think they should pass on the quarterback this year unless they get Dwayne Haskins or they're able to get Kyler Murray. And I don't even know how I really feel about either one of those two quarterbacks. If I was them, I would most likely try to get Kyler Murray since he's able to do a lot more than what Dwayne Haskins is, because I think Dwayne Haskins is a little bit limited because he's not that much of a runner. He can run a little bit. He's a willing runner, but I don't I'm not really completely sold on both of these quarterbacks. I would most likely go with Kyler Murray, but in my opinion, if I couldn't get one or two of those guys, or if I couldn't get Kyler Murray, I would pick up Joe Flacco or Ryan Tannehill in free agency because both of those guys are most likely going to hit the market, especially Ryan Tannehill since the Dolphins are rebuilding. I would sign one of those guys for about 2-3 years and then wait for next year for the 2020 quarterback class, which is going to be loaded. You're going to have Tua, you're going to have Jake Fromm, you're going to have Jacob Eason, you're going to have a lot of good guys there. So I would wait for next year's draft. This year's draft, I would most likely try to go wide receiver maybe or offensive line, because I think what the Jaguars lack is depth. They don't really have a lot of depth. They don't have a solid offensive line when it comes to having guys to replace in case guys get injured. Joe Flacco will most likely be, in my opinion, the best candidate. I don't know what the New York Giants are going to do with Eli Manning, but in my opinion, I think they might keep him and draft just in case they don't get Dwayne Haskins or get Kyler Murray. So I think they might keep him, but Joe Flacco will most likely be a good fit. He has a strong arm, and this is a run first offense. So this is basically what the Baltimore Ravens have been running during his whole entire time. They like to run the ball first, then pass, set you up with play action, deep shots down the field. So I feel this will most likely be that would be a good spot for him. And also, you mentioned the defense. I would probably most likely draft another player in the second round, especially the cornerback position or the linebacker position, because the Jacksonville Jaguars have a lot of guys in their contract years, and I doubt they would be able to re-sign every single body on their defense. I feel they're going to have a few people go, so I would most likely draft another corner just in case you're not able to keep Jalen Ramsey or AJ Boye, or another linebacker in case you're not able to keep Miles Jack or Telvin Smith, because I think half that defense is going to hit the market because of how good they are and how much more money they can make elsewhere. So I would most likely draft some more depth at that position to be ready just in case one of those guys leave.
Yeah, I think Kyler Murray, the main concern with him is like height. Like there are not that many guys that have been very good at like a height under 6 feet. Like there's only two that I can think of off the top of my head, like Drew Brees and Russell Wilson. But I don't think they're going to take a quarterback this draft, especially because they could go after like Joe Flacco or Ryan Tannehill. Then the Dolphins, I'm not sure if they'll get rid of Tannehill. He's been like 1 year he's good, the next he's terrible. But if they do, I would go after him probably. No, if he's actually good. If he doesn't perform well, like the Jaguars get him in free agency before week 1, he doesn't do well. If Joe Flacco's on the board, they'd definitely be taking him because they have a lot of good deep ball receivers like D.D. Westbrook and whoever else they have. And I think they can catch a lot of Joe Flacco's passes. That he's really accurate with the deep ball, not so much middle of the field because he throws a lot of picks. And then the concern will vanish because the Jaguars don't really play any good defenses in their division. Well, I mean, they do, like the Texans and Colts. But other than that, the Titans' defenses, they're good at stacking the quarterback, but they don't have a good secondary. And if Kyler Murray were to be drafted by the Jaguars, which I highly doubt will happen, they have probably a hard time running over his defenses because that's what he does. He likes to run the ball. Threw a lot of touchdowns this year, though. He torched the secondary of some of those teams, but I don't think they're that desperate yet. I think they'll sign Joe Flacco and see what he can do at the quarterback position. And I think the short game, like Leonard Fournette out of the backfield, would be a pretty useful weapon for Joe Flacco. I mean, he's never had that type of support from the running back position when he was in Baltimore.
Okay,
they don't really have any good. Yeah, Ray Rice was good. Then he had to use Alex Collins and other running backs.
So I want to get into the last thing. So being realistically, we know the quarterback position is the most important, but my last question is, what other position do the Jacksonville Jaguars need to address before we end this video? What is the second most important thing that they need to target in the draft or in free agency other than quarterback?
Their kickers, they have Josh Lambo's a pretty good kicker. I don't think they need to take anyone else in the draft. But mainly their secondary has not too many holes, but Jalen Ramsey and AJ Boye can't just carry that defense all the time. They definitely need to get some cornerbacks and maybe a safety. I'm not sure. And yeah, they got Barry Church and safety, and they probably get a better option than whoever else they have. And definitely maybe take, if they get Joe Flacco, maybe take a capable backup quarterback other than Blake Bortles, because I think everyone knows that he's terrible, and I don't think he's never going to be a starting quarterback again in the NFL. And mainly, the Jaguars are already set at running back. Assuming Leonard Fournette doesn't have a down year next year, then he's starter come 2020 or 2021. And I think they definitely. TJ Yeldon's pretty good at receiving. Leonard Fournette's like a workhorse back that doesn't really catch the ball often, but Joe Flacco would be good with TJ Yeldon. And the linebacker.
They're letting TJ Yeldon go, I think, or they're trying to trade him.
Yeah. I guess they're trying to trade TJ Yeldon. They'd probably
Carlos
trade him
Hyde.
to. Yeah, or Carlos Hyde's not bad. I mean, they could just have him as like a good backup running back. Like they got. I'm not sure how good Carlos Hyde is in like catching the ball. Like
he's good. I mean,
or, like as the slot.
He's good, but the knot with him was his yards per carry. He only had 3.8, which is why Cleveland traded him.
Yeah, he had like one good game. The game when Baker Mayfield started, like he had 98 yards, 23 carries for 98 yards and 2 touchdowns. And I think they definitely need him to get better at catching the ball and make sure his yards per carry goes up, because that's definitely an immediate concern if I'm the Jaguars front office. If they trade TJ Yeldon, they need to have some depth at the running back position. They can't just have Leonard Fournette. And as for their defense, they got plenty of. They're stacked at like the defensive ends, like Calais Campbell and Ngakwu.
And they got the guy who they selected from Florida last year. Well, it was good having you on. We appreciate your insight. Yep. You guys make sure to check out Blue Skittles channel. I'm going to link it down in the comment section and the description down below. Make sure to like the video and subscribe. And Blue Skittles, thanks for coming on, man. We hope to have you on sometime in the future.
Yes.